You sound perfect. You sound absolutely brilliant. And we're live now. So if you know what, if anything was going to happen with it, it's too late to say. And that's the bloody truth of the matter as well. Saturday morning here in Australia, Friday, possibly if you are around the world. Good morning and welcome to the Inside NBA show. This is Heat Check. Skiddy and I, we love to wear matching mustaches and matching hats to start the day and recover on a Saturday morning. I've got my copy. Have you got your copy here for this?
No, I don't have any damn coffee because I'm currently in Bendigo in the home of the big horse Mickey Dell, and they don't have a coffee machine here. So
they don't have a coffee machine. Let's just establish this. There's no coffee machine in Bendigo, or there's no coffee machine in the house that you're currently staying at?
In the house we're currently staying in, and that really sucks for me. So I'll try and wake myself up as much as I can. I'll need to rely on you to wake me up a little bit until I can get a coffee in me, but that's all right. We'll figure that out. But,
I will wake you up before I will wake you up before you go, mate. It's a 14 game slate today of NBA action. It's absolute lunacy. We do this live from our balconies or rooms. This is what we would usually do on a Saturday morning. We put together a multi-bet, and there's a lot of, I guess, betting and action you can get on today as well. Already someone. Oh, look, it's Don Sicario here. Good morning, Don. How are you, mate? Good to see you back in for the stream. We also put together a massive multi-bet that we'll post afterwards. Every show like this one, and with 14 games of action, it's absolutely rife for the picking today. So I guess the other thing to say is this: if you are into your punts and you do love that kind of stuff, make sure you stay tuned throughout. We're going to have, I reckon we could get up to probably a 15-legger today with 14 games, at least one leg per game. We could go up to 20 legs. I'm absolutely keen on it. But if you are into that kind of thing, make sure you check out our friends at Bonus Bank. Now, Bonus Bank is one of Australia's best side hustles. They give you 25% off your first month subscription. It's less than $2 a month to make the most of your match betting across all of the sites. So if it's Neds or if it's Tab or whoever's giving you bonus bets, Bonus Bank helps you make the most of that to earn money for it. Let's get down to business. Let's get down to our NBA action. We're going to take you over all of the. Should we do? Actually, I think we should do some pretty. I'll ask you some important information on some news that's happening around the league. Yeah, look, trade season is on the way very, very soon. The implications for this in our fantasy leagues, we've already seen OG Anunoby, first of all. He fits like a glove in New York.
Yes, can definitely agree there. And then we also see Emmanuel Quickly going back with RJ Barrett as well to the Raps. And it's Quickly starting off. He seems to have started off a little bit slow, but he's still got the right runway there, and he's obviously been given the keys to the starting point guard role there in Toronto. So both trades there, and I think and then obviously when you talk about trades in the NBA, we're just obviously just hearing a shitload about who are the Lakers going to get. And I, for one, Matty G, am already sick of it, and they haven't gotten anyone yet. So let's see how this goes this year.
Yeah, Rob Pelinka might look like Rob Lowe in many ways. It's the plastic surgery that's available to you possibly in Los Angeles. I don't know. I'm not casting any dispersions about Rob Pelinka, but what I will say is that he is a mastermind at the end of the day a little bit, because last year he really this one is one. The first question of the day is this one. Kobe White for Quickly. Kat, should I pursue? Are you getting Kobe White or are you getting Quickly? Because if you're getting Quickly and that's sitting in your trade box right now, Don, smash Quickers, smash 100%. Well, my main thing is I'm going to smash Quickly right now because my thoughts is this one: smash Quickly. And I don't mean that in the way that we can mean smash here in Australia. I just like what Quickly is going to be able to do in the Raptors, especially. You've got to look at the launch pad for two. For me, Skiddy, the news today that I was going to run by you next is Pascal landing spots. There are 3 teams that are eyeing him: the Pistons, the Pacers, and the Kings are all very intent. I don't even know what intent means, but they are intent on getting themselves a Pascal Siakam. So that's going to continue to open up more opportunities for Quickly there. Does Levine go? Does he actually, he's still got this massive contract. What do you think happens there?
So with Don's question, I mean, I think Kobe White's better all-round fantasy player that he's been showing, for the past few weeks without Levine. I do agree with you that the Levine aspect of him, which he is returning today apparently, and coming off the bench, I believe. So I guess we can see how Kobe White's role is going to be with Levine there. I believe it will reduce Kobe White's role a little bit, while Quickly is obviously been given the starting point guard spot there in Toronto. So it's a really, really tough one. I think it's you kind of just got to hold until you see how Levine works back in with Kobe White. Very interesting there. But yeah, this how pissed off would you be if you were Pascal Siakam? You do all the right stuff by Toronto. You've been good to them and everything like that, and they piss your ass off to Detroit. Oh, God, that would suck.
Can I just say...
Oh, no.
Just us for a while. Tell us if you were the one who got that trade, or if you were sending that out, or that trade sitting there for you. Do you have Kobe White currently, or do you have Quickly? I think I just would like to know where you're at with that one. But I think you're right, man. I think the Pistons it's like a really wonderful upside future team. I'm not going to lie. I love what the Pistons could offer with Pascal there. Like, think about it. What are we saying right now that they don't have? They're running out these two center lineups. If you roll out there like Cade Cunningham, young guy and Jalen Duren, Bojan Bogdanovic, Pascal Siakam, Duran's holding the middle down. I don't see that as an incompetent basketball team, and I don't think you've got Kobe. Well, if that's the one there, then you've had that trade sent to you. I'm on the fence about it, but I think there's two sides to the argument, Don. I think you could definitely hold him, but he does lose upside when Levine's around. Levine's contract is a bit of an eyesore. If the Kings are apparently a rumored destination for him as well, because they're playing really well, they're getting it together, and the Lakers. Let's just say this: in what do they get back there? So let's just play out that scenario. In the Lakers, they're going to get back like a Taurean Prince kind of role and a D'Angelo Russell or wherever that contract kind of thing is. Not really a trade. It's got to be who?
Reeves.
Yeah, I don't think they move Reeves. I I think they get rid of D'Angelo. I don't know, man. It's a weird one, but I think we've heard there's a lot of movement happening for Sacramento. Sacramento all of a sudden has just entered the trade room, like I was saying. So Harrison Barnes, Kevin Huerter, and Davion Mitchell are all on the trade block for the Kings.
Yep,
so let's say that trade does go through, and the Bulls are going to want to run out and show what they've got for the trade, and they have to give Davion Mitchell some more minutes at the point guard position, and they get back, let's say, Kevin Huerter and Davion Mitchell and whatever else. Well, like, they're not going to get that for Levine to make the salaries match. The other big thing here is DeRozan is another, like, apparently they are Chris Haynes this morning has reported that the Chicago Bulls and DeMar DeRozan's camp are wide apart on contract negotiations. So if that extension doesn't happen, it's most likely that DeMar DeRozan could go as well. And so if DeRozan and Levine go, well, then Kobe White's got all the upside in the world, and I'd hold him. But again, we're playing hypothetical. We're playing hypotheticals here, and this is the fun of fantasy basketball.
Yep, that's exactly what we do. I mean, it's hard to speculate now, but I don't think DeRozan doesn't hurt Kobe White as much as Levine does. No. So I think that's because Kobe White's more of an outside scorer that he's able to do. DeMar's not that. DeMar's just ISO, just get the ball in the bucket from mid, get to the free throw line, whatever he has to do. But Kobe White's more of a ball handler, can do too.
If the Lakers got DeMar DeRozan, and they would have to include D'Angelo Russell in that pack, straight away, D'Angelo Russell becomes part of that package, and that would hamper Kobe White's value somewhat as well, you'd say.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. Because that's an extra ball handler. So that's again another play there. So, I mean, what you're kind of bringing forth wherever this Levine hypothetical trade goes, it does look like they're going to be aiming for a point guard to be coming back, which again would hamper Kobe. So maybe Quickly is the safer option there. But obviously, Kobe White is the better is the better fantasy player out of the two, but quickly could be a bit more safe. But gee, let's get stuck into some games, baby.
Yeah, me too. Also, we just got sent a love heart and a rose from Atala George. So I don't know whose friend she is, but thank you very much. That's obviously all for you too, Skiddy. First game today, Utah and Boston. Let's look to see what we got on there. He's like, oh, look at this. What a way to start the day. Utah and Boston. We've got these guys to start up the day here. Let's get down to it. Let's get to the business. He's heating up. Yeah, we've got Utah and Boston on the main line to start up there. Skiddy, who are you liking? What are we thinking? What are we doing?
So both pretty healthy teams, which is good to see. Al Horford is a game time decision because Boston have a back-to-back tomorrow, and we know that Al Horford can play back-to-backs. So they may be sitting him today, then having him play tomorrow against the Pacers. So I think Boston win this one pretty easily. There's no pickups for Boston. Really been, I don't know if people have been dropping Jordan Clarkson or not, but geez, his last two games have been phenomenal. I don't think he'll be able to pop off like he did the last two here against the Celtics, against Derek White and Drew Holiday. And it seems John Collins getting that starting center spot, but they are just rotating so many players through their rotation. So I mean, you could have a swing on any of them, but since it's a 14-game day,
Fontecchio. You don't have it, but Fontecchio is still available. He's only available because there's 14 games today. He's scored up 22% ownership in the last day. I have been espousing getting Fontecchio from the loudest I can. He has gone up from 4% owned to 26% owned on the day. I'm just saying this: get over your 14-day hump today. Use up your streams or whatever. But if you're well up for the week, just bring the big man in. Bring in Fontecchio into your squads, please.
I can see it in the fact that it's a back-to-back. So because I've got, geez, it's Philly, it's Boston, then Philly. Like, geez, that sucks.
It's a tough matchup. It's a tough matchup, isn't it?
So I think there could be better players to pick up than Fontecchio, but that's okay. I mean, he's definitely worth a swing. You can get your threes, maybe a couple of boards. There's obviously worse players.
Yeah, there's potential for him across the board, and that's what we kind of like for him as well.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't agree more, but I'm happy with taking Boston here. How about you?
Mate, I'm taking Boston as well. What are we thinking? Let's Mark. Have you got the app up there?
Yes, I do, mate. I'm thinking we just chuck a little bit of a pick your own line on it, and because they're paying $1.08, so I wouldn't mind taking them at 5.5 for $1.22 is a nice little fluffer to start. I think they can beat them by 5.5, by 6 or more. I think that's pretty safe.
Love and do that one. We're on to Atlanta in Indiana now. And one of the guys I want to talk about right here is Buddy Hield. I can pick up Buddy Hield for a stream for the day because I do have one spot available in one league. I have a guard position available. So my big exercise today, Skiddy, is I am one of the people in the world. I can't believe it. This is actually in our ESPN league, mate. I'm up against our friend Damo today. And with Trey Murphy being out on my bench and DeAnthony Melton being out on my bench, I've got DeAnthony Melton into IR, and I can actually roll out a guard today in this lineup in a 14-game day, which is, again, generally unheard of. But if you're like me, I'm going to find the best guard available. One of the guys who started off hot and then was out and then dropped 6 ways to Sunday was one Mr. Buddy Hield in this team. What do we like? What do we like that's happening? What do we like minutes-wise that's happening in Indiana and trends for pickups after today?
Well, I mean, their rotation's just like, it can go either way. Sometimes they can play Buddy Hield more. They can play Benedict Mathurin more. They can play Naismith and Nemhard and Brown. They're just kind of throwing them all around a little bit, just seeing what works on what day. But I think Buddy Hield is a great pickup today. And you know why that is, Matty G?
Why is that a good pickup today?
It's the bloody Hawks versus the Indiana Pacers. What happened last time they played, mate? They set the line for the total points at the highest in history, and they beat it by 40 points. The line today is 262. Last time they played, they scored 300. It is. It's 262, and last time they played, they scored 305. So, and that is in a regulation game. So I think there's going to be a shitload of scoring today. I think the overs again.
You think the overs of that? You think they're going to you think they're going to give up 130 apiece, basically?
I think they're going to give up about 145 each.
I'm not as confident in that today. I am not as confident because I think we've both got different lineups out there today. I think we're on a tighter game schedule. I don't want to play that one. Can we just go Jalen Johnson? I would like to go Jalen Johnson for 15 points though, because he's looking absolutely fantastic since coming back there. Look, the bench mob, they're really deep, Indiana. And if you, to a certain extent, Atlanta is as well. Bogdan Bogdanovic for a sneaky 12 points never goes on there, but there's no real streams, as you say today. I am going to flag though my buddy Hield as a possible stream option for myself in that guard spot today, because I go down to Washington and Cleveland in the next one here. Mate, you've got to be loving the work of Karis LeVert lately for Cleveland. How will he carry this team?
Yeah, no, he's been sensational off the bench, Oliver, and
Maxi Strus as well.
Yeah, didn't he play well that last game against Washington, where Cavs won by 40 and Strus knocked down 6 of 6 threes and just had a little bit of everything across the board. So it's nice having Mitchell back. We still obviously don't have Darius Garland and Evan Mobley. And obviously Ricky Rubio, shout out
retired
to him.
Yeah.
What an amazing career he's had. He's been he was an absolute leader and staple of the Cavs, of the Jazz, of the Suns. He was a fantastic player, and I'll tell you what, mate, that was that's a man that you just love to watch when he was playing, because he was an absolute wizard when he was with the Timberwolves with the ball. So, congrats to him on an amazing career, and yeah, sad to see him go, but you never say never. I think he'd probably play in Spain because he wanted to spend more time with his kids. So, good on him.
Yeah,
but
I think.
Go on.
And I was going to say, nice to see you, Tyler George, as well. We've actually got a friend from our Shaq 2K down there, and on that Ricky Rubio, he's actually said that. I actually read his letter, and I've just got my hats off to you, your organization, Skiddy, because the way that they've dignified him by whatever's happened to him was a massive life event. Whatever it was, it hurt his soul deeply, and it was a massive singular event. He actually called out the night and saying it was his darkest place. Now, wherever that place was for Rubio, for him to call up his work and have to be like, or his people to say, hey, look, this has happened. He can't come into work. He needs to take a break. And they've supported him. So hats off to the Cavs, mate, as you said, and to him for a massive career. And I hope that he hears his story and shares, and people can learn some lessons from him later as well. Skiddy, I'll give this one to you because it's our boy Shaq 2K was offered Triple J for Jalen Johnson and Gafford in 9Cat. For Jalen Johnson and Gafford for Triple J, was I crazy to reject that trade? Yes. I think so. Yeah. Because I would have flirted with it.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I think I probably would have taken JJJ in that instance, just purely because Gafford's big, thing that he's good at in fantasy.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Sorry, no, you're right. You're right. I read it the wrong way around. I thought he was offered Jalen Johnson and Gafford. He was offered JJJ. No. Yeah. No, hold where you are. Hold.
Yeah. Hold. So Gafford's obviously one of the best field goal percentage players in fantasy basketball, and they can also get you some rebounds and blocks and everything like that. Johnson's going to provide a bit more scoring, a bit more threes, can get some rebounds as well, and does a little bit of everything else. While JJJ, look, he's massive output last year was because of his blocks, and his blocks are down a little bit now, but obviously Jaren is a great fantasy player still, and he can still bounce back from this. The thing I'd say is, who is the other guy that you're picking up? Because if you had someone that was good enough on the wire, because obviously it's 2 for 1, you'd have to drop someone. So I think it's not crazy to reject it. It's very, very enticing though to have taken JJJ there. You'd have to bank on him actually stepping back up if you didn't give too much of a shit about your field goal percentage as well. But I think you're all right, Shaq. You're still a legend.
Yeah, he's still a legend, and you hold there. Like I've got Jalen Johnson and Gafford as well in the values. I'm just going to have a look up. He's been top 3 rounds of value the last couple of weeks as well, which is pretty insane to think of as well. We've got Joseph Kim, Jay Crowder coming back soon. Should I drop Keontae for Crowder? 16 team 9 cat. punting, blocks, and turnovers. Currently first, but I don't know if it'd still be worth stashing at this point. Don't know if he'll be starting soon too. Look, there's every chance that he does because the rumors out there today, and we've got to give this one out, Joseph Kim. The other one here is Clarkson is widely available. So the big news coming out overnight from the US is that Utah has basically said, would anyone like Jordan? Anyone want to take on Jordan Clarkson? So one of the immediate implications of that is that there will be more opportunity for Keontae George, depending on who they get back from the trade. They seem intent for now to run out Chris Dunn, but we also know that this is the organization that last year, down the stretch when they were middling like they were this year, they decided to roll out Walker Kessler just left, right, and center. Like this is like literally left, right, and as the center, to be fair, without the pun intended. So I think there is more of a lead for Keontae George, but what the fuck is Jay Crowder going to do for you? Not a lot. That's my thoughts.
Matty, look, I was going to let you have your piece and everything like that, but Joseph, don't you dare drop Keontae for Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder does fuck all. So
I was trying to be nice. I was like,
you hold Keontae.
You hold him. You hold him.
Mate, I'm literally
you hold him, Joseph. Okay. You hold him.
You do not in any circumstance drop fucking Keontae George for Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder is dog shit. So no.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, and I know it's 9-cat, but if it's 9-cat,
it is. Also, too, just going to say there is no stupid questions or anything like that. Like we are more than happy to answer whichever. So it is a good question because it's a good shout because Crowder has had. Oh, what a pisser!
Yeah, he's had impact here and there, but in a 9-cat league, this time of year you're really holding for upside at the half round point, and if you're holding for upside and it's not going to show, well, Keontae's shown it. He's going to get you some points. He's going to get you some threes. He digs in and gets some rebounds occasionally. He's going to get you some assists and some peripherals. It's hard to stream and estimate steals and blocks as well. In my league and in my team, I'm a blocks leader. So when I play ball in my team, I'm like one of the leaders of blocks. Like I'm always in the league, a leader of blocks. Now I can bank on games where I've got 2 or 3 a game, 4 a game pretty frequently. But there's games I get maybe 1 or none here and there along the way. Just like Triple J, going back to your Triple J point, he's only got 4 block shots twice in the last whatever. I own him in 1 league. And I look down and I see 0s and 1s and I'm like, just 1? Triple J? Just 1, mate, would be okay. So you never know. You don't pick him up for that one at all. I've got, should I drop Drummond to activate Levine considering no games this weekend? Well, I'd drop Drummond and bring a stream if you need to. Ingham? Yeah, yep. Iangam. I don't know how to say your name, and I feel like shit for not being able to say that properly. Look, you are a good bloke, and I would say if you've got Levine stashed and there's no games, if you're not rolling out anything for Drummond, you bring someone in who you can activate this weekend. That's where I'm at.
It depends. Yeah, it depends what league he's in because I'm pretty sure Vucevic is back. Vuce is back, isn't he? Yeah, he is. Right. Yeah, when Vuce is back, I don't feel the need to hold on to Drummond at any point. I just, he'll get you 8 rebounds or 7 rebounds. Like that doesn't interest me and nothing else. So, when Vooch is in, Drummond's gone for me.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Bloody, where are we up to? Okay, Cavs in the multi. That's what we were doing, and we're on to Oklahoma City versus the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, we are. We're doing that one. We will just look quickly one for the New York Knicks and Philadelphia. That's going to be a hell of a game. I'm actually going to take the Knicks on that one. I'm going to take the Knicks on that one. Ooh, just personally, I just think they're playing some good basketball, and I'm really curious to see. So I'm just going to say them as a bit of a flyer, but I hopefully wins because I don't like the Knicks that much, to be fair.
I honestly don't like the head-to-head in this one. I am just putting in Joel Embiid for 30 and 10 because I don't think Jericho Sims, Taj Gibson, and Isaiah Hartenstein.
I think Hartenstein has been playing really well. I would actually be. I'd be more curious to put in Kelly Oubre for 10, like for something stupid like 10 plus. This paying about the same.
Gee, the thing is though, Hartenstein cannot defend Joel Embiid. He's going to absolutely destroy him. He's going to be in foul trouble in about 2 minutes, 3 minutes max.
All right, do it. Put him in for 30
he'll be on the bench. Yep. And then all he has to do is take apart Randall and Sims. Easy.
Done. Put it in.
Okay. See, Brooklyn have been shit house, mate. And Mikal Bridges needs to step it the fuck up because he is the guy that they wanted for, for KD they said, look, hey, if we're going to get this trade done, we need Mikal Bridges because we believe he can be a number one option. And he's really, really looking like he's struggling. His field goal percentage has been horrible. We really need to see him step it up. It looks like Lonnie Walker might be back as well this game. But
he's probable. And Dennis Smith Jr. as well, probable.
Yeah, but we've got to say this, mate. How goddamn good are the Thunder? I know our boy Trenny Evans. He just dick rides them so hard. But mate, I cannot get past how good this team is and how good they're looking. They played exceptional against Boston the other day. SGA is unreal.
He is fantastic.
So I think it's another big Shea game as always. And it's the one that I'm looking forward to this matchup is Chet versus Claxton. I think that's going to be a really, really interesting matchup of two 100%. Big athletic centers. So it'll be interesting because this is a big test for Chet to see how he goes against Claxton. So I think you'd be looking more at J-Dub for a few threes, I reckon, is probably like a safer one. They'll try and let SGA cook in, and then Brooklyn they will have to team defense the shit out of Shea, and I think Shea's going to be able to get some wide open shots for the rest of his team. But I'm still taking OKC here, even though it's in Brooklyn. Thoughts?
Yeah, and it's I'm 100% with you right there. There's no real stream options unless you're in a league and you need some points and threes. You can look at guys like Isaiah Joe, obviously, in those kind of leagues that you need volume on threes because I think they're going to be able to space the floor pretty well against this team. Cam Thomas moving to the bench has been a good shout. As you said, Mikal Bridges needs to step dog shit. He needs to step the shit up, and I've got him in a couple of leagues, and I'm a Mikal Bridges truther. I love the guy. I think he's fantastic. He just seems a little bit defeated this season. I think that also happens when you go from the back of being in a winning organization for so long in Phoenix and doing so well, going to the NBA Finals, getting traded, showing what you can do, and workshopping the shit out of that to finish your season last year with your best mate, Cam Johnson, which is great that those two blokes are born together. They have a really great connection with Nick Claxton, but they're surrounded by guys who still want to get their own pieces like Spencer Dinwiddie and Cam Thomas, and that's just not the basketball that they play. So I do see a Mikal Bridges resurgence. I do see that he pulls his finger out. I would love to see it be in this game versus someone like Jalen Williams as well. An excellent defender, and that's going to help to buoy his confidence quite a lot. So I love that for him. No one else there that I'm looking at for any kind of stream options. Onto Minnesota and the Houston Rockets. The Rockets, Jalen Green was dropped onto some wires this week, picked up. He's been returning outside 200 value, but what you do and what you get from him that's sexy is points and threes.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. He's and they're some of the hardest things to come by, even though he's been a little bit down as of late. But the points and threes potential there is obviously still there and still great. So you kind of I understand people's frustrations just because he's destroying your field goal percentage, doing fuck all else. So I can understand it, but if there's someone else on the wire that you want to have a go for, I mean, I don't hate dropping him, but interesting game this one here with
I think Minnesota. I think Minnesota gets the win. Brooksy's out.
Yep.
I think Tara Easton is out as well. I'm actually more surprised at Minnesota's total, only by 4. I think we could bump up that to 6 or 8. I think Houston. I do not think they compete with a team this rangy, this long.
Yeah,
and I'm saying that with all knowing that Jabari Smith Jr. and Alperen Şengün's here, but you're not going to get that. You're not going to get the bump that these guys get off their bench when they need it. The Minnesota Timberwolves are an excellent franchise this year. They are playing incredible team basketball. I love to see it. I think they will absolutely feast on these guys. Jaden McDaniels is an outstanding defender. Fred VanVleet may struggle against the athleticism of Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels because the other guys market him. Fred VanVleet and Jalen Green on the opposing side. So I think we could probably go Minnesota about 6.5 on the line because I actually really, I can't believe I'm saying this as well. I'm actually really into Minnesota this year and I'm watching them play and it just looks like a different team than last year. And that's been good. It's been good for some fantasy numbers. I actually had the argument the other day that we did the show with Kingy, the trades. And I'm like, who do you take in a trade? And this is the hottest take in the world. I should play the bloody thing. I was like, I'm not sure who I take in a trade. If I would take Victor Wembanyama or Cat. And since that time, the Spurs have said that they're not going to play Wembanyama. Only 2 days, like yesterday it was announced, they're not going to roll him out there for any more than 24 minutes a night. He may not play back-to-backs down the course of the season as well. There's all these now like stipulations around Wembanyama. I'm going to get my 20 and 10 every night out there. My really good percentages on Karl Anthony Towns. Mate, yeah, 6.5 on them. Anything else on the Timberwolves and Houston?
Yeah, pickup wise, yeah, I mean, nothing really for Minnesota is really jumping out at me. I mean, McDaniels maybe if you want to go for some defensive stats and maybe some rebounds, a couple of threes, that'd be all right. But I know Brooks and Easton are out, but God, don't pick up Jay Sean Tate. Ugh, yeah, I don't like that at all. So no, I'm backing you on that. We can go. We'll take Minnesota -6, so that's fine by me. What's the next game on the slate? We got. Pelicans Clippers. Geez, that's this will be a good one. I am very much looking forward to seeing this game. Obviously,
Clippers
as you said,
by one.
Trey Murphy is now game time.
He is.
No, he's game time.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's not out anymore. Yeah,
no, he's been moved up. He's been questionable with his tendonitis, and that. So he was out. He was initially listed as earlier as doubtful. He's been upgraded to questionable here. I don't know if that still moves the dial on me. This team, these are both great teams. I don't want to touch this game with a 10-foot pole. Apart from, I would be, I would only be doing any points, but I don't want to touch this game with a 10-foot pole. This is going to be a good basketball game, and I hope my son goes to bed. I hope he's asleep and I can watch it and watch the whole game because this is a bloody knockdown battle. Look at the matchups: Zubac versus Val, fantastic. Ingram and Paul George. So matchup-wise, you've got Kawhi and Ingram, Paul George and Zion. They'll flip that around. Kawhi will mark Zion. Paul George will mark Ingram. Terrence Mann on Herb Jones. And James Harden on CJ McCollum. Like, matchup-wise, this just looks like a lot of fun.
Oh, mate, this is one of those games where you don't even need to bet on it to really, really enjoy it because it's going to be that good. So, no, I'm 100% with you there. This is going to be fantastic. Yeah, as I said, as we both said, I'm not picking anyone up in this game. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy this one. This one's an absolute beauty. So, but here's the big talking point of the one that we want to get to. And you wouldn't really you wouldn't think that we'd be really excited to talk about a Charlotte Hornets versus the Chicago Bulls game, but here we are. Charlotte, they still have Ball, Hayward, Mark Williams, and Ntilikina out. And Chicago, we have the returning Zach LaVine. It looks like Caruso and Patty Williams are both going to play as well, and Torrey Craig is out. So this is going to be very interesting, as we said earlier, to see how LaVine's return impacts Kobe White and also Alex Caruso, because Caruso has been sneakily chugging along at roughly around about 12 to 14 team value. His defensive stats have kind of gone away a bit, which is a bit annoying, but he does need that kind of extra ball handler to be able to play off of. So they, I think this is going to be a really interesting one. I think we can safely drop Drummond if Vooch is back, which it seems he is. Been impressed with the 1-2 combo that Terry Rozier and Miles Bridges have been able to pull out without Ball out there. So I think they've been looking all right. I don't know. I know some people have been picking up Cody Martin. Sorry. That sucks. But yeah, that's all I've got for this game, mate. I'm still looking forward to my pickups a bit later on.
Yeah, we're doing that one there. The next one that we're going to look at real quickly here is who was up next on our slate, mate? We went back one.
I've got Portland, Dallas.
Yeah, the only thing here that this is my other one I was going to, and we've had a question from Shaq as well. I've got to actually do some. He's like, with 14 games, is he going to make some tough decisions? Yeah. Now, I've said that I have my one roster spot. We're going to do the exercise where I'm going to ask Skiddy, Shaq, to finish the show. Who do I bench? Who I activate for today in one of my leagues? Because we do that as a bit of a sounding exercise where we do the punt. So we'll get back to that one. For me here on that, I am looking at Tim Hardaway Jr. as my other guard option with the amount of threes and volume that he can get as my other pickup for the day, Skiddy. just because I think that they will blow them out of the water at some point, and they need to run those guys out there. With Exum out, Kleber out, and Rashawn Holmes out, you can get some extra run from Jaden Hardy and Joshy Green in there. But Shaden Sharp coming off the bench is another look as well, because if they get blown up, they're not going to be motivated to run out Shaden Sharp there at all. That much anyway.
No, I can agree with you there, but I don't know if it's going to be as much of a blur. I mean, Luke is game time. And we know that there's no Dallas.
That's true.
If there's no Luka, there's no Dallas, and it is a right ankle swelling. So that's, even if he does play, that's still not great for him.
And Lively is questionable as well, and so is Grant Williams. Is this all? Are they all just questionable because it's Portland?
They don't normally do. No, they're normally pretty good on their reports. In fairness, Dallas.
They are.
So
yeah,
I think Dallas do win it and there's also no Ayton or Brown for Portland, so Bargy will get the start. So, but I think I agree with you. Tim Hardaway could be it could definitely be a pickup today, especially if Luke is out. Then, geez, that's he'll definitely get a shitload of shots. I've been liking Derek Jones still just chugging along. Same as Josh Green. This Dallas team is just so hard to read who's going to be playing on which night and who's going to be able to impact. But I think Jones is doing enough defensively always to be able to give you enough to be able to hold in 12s. But yeah, I don't think Josh Green's got enough of a fantasy skill set to be able to impact massively. He'll just have those those big games here and there where he'll get some 20 points and 3 threes or something like that. You sit there and go, holy shit, why am I not picking up Josh Green? And then the next game he doesn't hit a shot and gets 2 rebounds and an assist, and you go, well, that sucked. So, I think Jones is still the only one there. He's cemented the starting spot as well, even with Kyrie back. So, yeah, that's the one I've got there, mate.
The next one that I want to look at here is the Orlando Magic versus the Denver Nuggets. Mm-hmm. The Denver Nuggets are clear winners on this one. I'm going to take I will look at points and look for everything on that one later because it's there. But the Orlando Magic are absolutely strewn with dead bodies of injuries. Fultz out, Harris out 7 games. Joe Ingles is out. Jonathan Isaac is out for another 5 or 6 games. The big one for me was Franz Wagner is out 4 games. So the news out of him is that the MRIs was negative. For Franz, I think Jalen Suggs is worth probably the most speculative add in this team for the short term of anyone else in this team. You pick up Suggsy if he's on your bench because you could probably roll him out there today. But if not, you want to make the most of this for the next 4 or 5 games, which is what the opportunity for Jalen Suggs really is.
Yep, couldn't agree more. And I also agree that I think Denver are going to belt them today, even though they are on a back-to-back and they had that. Geez, I know we say this all the time, but how good is Jokic? That 3 off the bounce near half court for game winner. Oh my God. It's just, mate, I was driving up to Bendigo yesterday, right? And I asked the Dal when we got into the car, I'm like, hey babe, what's the score in the Warriors Nuggets game? And she goes, the Warriors are up 107-94 or something like that. I'm like, that's over.
Game was done. Game was done.
Next thing I know, I get a notification on my phone. And it's just like Jokic beats the buzzer for Denver's massive comeback win. And I'm like, of course they did it again. Of course, unbelievable.
And this is the real thing. The implications for this, though, are really far-reaching because Jonathan Kuminga didn't get rolled back out there, and he was on pace. He was playing really well for the Warriors. The Warriors, he was looking great. The Warriors fans have become outraged overnight, and all reports are saying. I was going to ask you this one when we got down to them with the back-to-back because it's the last game of the day. What happens today? Because Kuminga's basically come out and done the one thing you don't do. There's kind of like an unspoken rule. You don't coaches, you don't shit on your players directly unless it's like our team didn't play good enough. Like that's the thing. But it's as a player, you generally don't come out and say, I'm unhappy. And hello, Jake Gregory is waiting for her present.
No, Georgie, it's 2 on
This is the 30th birthday?
That's Jackie.
The 30th birthday. Hey, Jackie, how are you, mate?
Happy birthday, G. Can't wait to see you tonight.
Mate, that's great. This is like your sister too, basically. Like you basically, you were telling me yesterday that you're there for this lovely lady who is basically your flesh and blood in many respects. Is this her bloke getting on there to remind you to?
This is her husband, Jack.
Well, husband Jack, lay off. He's doing a podcast, and I'm taking you off notifications, bastard.
Kuminga has lost.
Yeah, you will. Kuminga has lost faith in Kerr. Warriors forward doesn't believe he can reach his full potential under Steve Kerr via the Athletic report today. So this is the report after the game yesterday. He got pulled out. He's like basically feeling that he's done in Golden State Warriors. This is a guy who could end up in that Pascal Siakam trade or anywhere else right now after this kind of statement. And we've seen the Warriors move guys before who don't fit into their system.
Yeah.
We could be looking at it right now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, I don't think he can reach his full potential there just because, you know, Steph and everyone has to have so much of the ball and do it all. But I think he needs to pull his head out of his ass and just, you know, mate, you're a second, third year player. You just stay in your damn lane. You're on one of the best teams with one of the best coaches. And it can be a lot worse, mate. I reckon just ship his ass off to Detroit and see how well he plays. And if he plays like shit, you can just be like, oh, I told you so. Just make sure you get something good back in return. But that's for them. But, yeah, Orlando Magic. The one I wanted to bounce off you, G, was with Franz out now, right?
Yep.
I was so in on going, okay, it's Jonathan Isaac time again. I'm ready to have another crack. Give me Jonathan Isaac again.
I'm ready to believe again.
He's out again. And now
another 4 to 5 games. Yeah.
I think they're going to – what do you think they do? Because currently they have it listed as Suggs, Cole Anthony, Black, Banchero, and Batadze, which would mean that there would be 3 guards in Black, Anthony, and Suggs. They don't like playing Suggs and Anthony together. What do you reckon they go with? Because I think they go 2 ways where they play majority. It's either they're going to go double center lineup with Batadze, Carter, and then have Paolo at the 3 with Suggs and either Black or Gary Harris there as well, actually. Or do you reckon they roll out Caleb Houston? Who could be an interesting source of threes?
Caleb Houston is the starting small forward in this lineup. I think he's going to be there as a floor stretcher for these guys today. Chuma Okeke is going to continue to get some more run as we've seen lately. Trevelyan Queen is the other guy who they haven't been afraid to roll out there in the last couple of games. And it's not that he's going to move your fantasy dial, but he's literally just a body off the bench. He's that guy when you've got when you're playing 10s and you're at your local, pickup center and you're at the street ball at the park and you're going like, oh, I'll take him. And then you look around and there's one guy left over. That's your Trevelyan Queen. And that's especially when you're looking at this lineup, they're like, oh, I didn't even know that he existed in the NBA. And I thought he was I thought he got demoted to the G League. I literally didn't even think he was on the bench enough for them to throw him a jersey and roll out there. Yeah. But this is what happens. And if you look down their thing, red, G League, Kevon Harris, Jet Howard, G League. Like, Jet Howard's a chance to get a bloody call up at this point in time. For the Orlando
Magic. Right.
This is what we're looking at here. Our next one, let's get through. We've got 4 games to go. We're just going to give you winners and losers. Then we'll do our multi real quick and get out of here. Winners on a gut right here: Phoenix versus Miami. I am going to say Phoenix today.
Yeah, I think Phoenix. Miami they killed the Lakers the other day. That was an absolute decimation. They absolutely killed them. That was without Jimmy Butler. So, I mean, look. I'm going to say Phoenix as well, but the thing is, I'm just not trusting Miami Heat to lose. That's my worry there. It doesn't matter how many people they have out; they still somehow be able to come out and be competitive. So,
and Duncan Robinson is a shout for threes today as well. By the way, Duncan Robinson, he could very well help out with threes. Like between, here we go, latest injury right here: Lakers and the 76ers from Chris Haynes is looking like trading for. Chris Haynes is reporting that DeJounte Murray could be ending up as a Laker or a Sixer by the trade deadline.
Right.
So now the Sixers have entered the fray for DeJounte Murray all of a sudden. That's an interesting
very, very interesting. Like
that's very interesting.
Is that
do they give up in that trade?
It wouldn't be Tobias, but Melton, Oubre kind of combination. That combination,
or that draft equity from that they got in the trade earlier this year from the Clippers. Some of those Clippers guys.
But Maxi's pretty much almost the same as Trae Young, and
you take us. How's this? I will jump on the trade machine straight away. Do you want to take us through the next 2 games, Toronto and Sacramento, and Memphis and LA? And I'll actually workshop that for you straight away, and we'll do that because I'm very curious of that one.
Yep.
That is the first time I'm hearing
we're leaving that out. We got the Raptors and the Kings. Up next, we've got Gary Trent is game time, same as Otto Porter, and the Kings have a full bill of health in Sacramento. I know the Kings had a shit loss last couple of games to the Hornets, and they've just been hitting a little bit of a downslope, but I think they can bounce back here against the Raptors. They match up quite nicely, even though, the Raptors have a fair bit of size, but I think Sabonis and Murray and Fox can get them over the line. They bounce back, and I think they'll be lighting the beam tonight against the Raptors. So I think, and it's at an all right price as well, like $1.50 for the Kings. I'll happily have that. We've already said what we had to say about the Warriors with Jonathan Kuminga. Obviously, Draymond Green is now back at the Warriors facility, ramping himself back up to, hopefully, in his mind, make a NBA return after punching the shit out of Yusuf Nurkic. So we'll see how that goes. But Gary Payton is also out for Detroit. Stewart is out. Morris is still out. Alec Burks is now game time. They still suck. Nothing else has changed there. Give me the Warriors. I think the line's a bit too far, in fairness, though. It's a 10.5. And Warriors haven't been looking great, especially on a back-to-back. So I might fluff up a couple of extra points towards Detroit, maybe make it like 12.5 and take it about $1.60. That's a nice little fluff. Thoughts there, Jay?
Yeah, I actually think that's a good one there. I would actually like to look at Cade Cunningham for plus 20 points as well, because I just think, again, he's a plus 20 points there. I'm looking at the Lakers. You can probably bank on right here LeBron James having a plus 25 game. Again, I think, say, let's go Anthony Davis plus 25. He has been an absolute machine lately. And I just want Emmanuel quickly plus 20 as well for Toronto versus Sacramento. I think he's just come into this team. Actually, let's go plus 15 or 16. Let's pick our own line for Quickly, bring it down to the bottom to bump it up to around $1.20, whatever it is, for Quickly's line. Just because he's still settling in, and there are some teething issues every now and then. But let's pull Quickly down to pick your own points for him for the lowest it can go. I'm looking at the trade machine, and this is very reasonable for the 76ers and the Atlanta Hawks. So this year, the contract for DeJounte Murray is the 5 years. He's on that 5-year contract. He's actually still listed on the trade machine as untradeable. So it's $18 million this year. He's got 3 years left of the contract. They've got time on their things. You can trade any number of, you can't do the Tobias Harris contract there, Skiddy, but you got Morris at $17 million. You could add you could add like a Pat Bev or a Mo Bamba or someone down that way, like Kelly Oubre even you could throw in there, or a Jalen Springer if they're after some youth. Or you need to do a combination of Batum or Covington and add in some of those draft equity picks that they've got stashed up their sleeve as well to get a DeJounte Murray. Because with Batum and Covington both being, you could probably do Batum, Covington, and Korkmaz, who we all know doesn't want to be there, and you put a couple of draft picks in there to get DeJounte Murray. That would be the package that they'd be getting there. So that's really, really interesting today. Big chance today against the sluggish Lakers. Jar plus 30. You know what, Jack? Ooh. Jack, what we're gonna do for you, only because it's your Darl's birthday, is we're gonna put that in there for Ja Morant plus 30. And we're also got to remember as well that the last time these guys had a big, massive one like this in LA, that was the big blow up with Sharpie on the bench last year, and that Dylan Brooks almost got lost his head to LeBron James. So I think there's a little bit. I think this is the first time I think they've played back in LA since then with these guys. So it's going to be a bit of a chip on the shoulder kind of shout. So yeah, let's put in Jar for plus 30 as well, and we'll throw some more ones up there because Skiddy, you've got to now. Jack, stop asking us questions because Skiddy's got to go find coffee. I'm pretty sure the best coffee is there.
Hey, look. In all honesty, though, if Jack says Memphis big chance and Jar 30 plus, I'll take it. He's a smart man. He knows what he's got his head on right, so I'll back him in on that. He chose Georgie, so we all know this. Like the man's, he's punching well and truly above his weight there. I don't even know what she's like or who she is whatsoever. I just know that. So this is the second. She's a gem, that's for certain. But this is.
I just know that you. I know that you bank. This is the second time Memphis has played there?
Yes, this is the second time that Memphis have played. They played.
Is it the first time back with Jar in the lineup?
First time. Yeah.
There you go. So first time back with Jar on the big stage.
Yeah. Yep. Lakers won by 27 last time they played and absolutely belted them. But I do like, I'll back him in on the Jar call. Has Jar hit 30 points since he's returned besides that first game?
No.
He's been 28, 26, 17, 19. Yeah, righto.
Yeah, but again, it's a sluggish. He's right. It's a sluggish Lakers. Oh, bring it back down. What pick Jar's line? Pick it back down to.
No. We're going 30. We're back in Jack.
No. We're back in. Are we back in Jack? Are we? He didn't bring you coffee to start your day. And if I'm not mistaken, Awaken Coffee in Bendigo. Awaken is one of the best coffee shops in Bendigo. And the fact that Jack hasn't woken up and known that you're from out of town. He's, you know what? Awaken. There you go. There's a shout for you. And Jack, back me up on that one. Is Awaken a good coffee shop in Bendigo? Just bring him back down, because I also have a sense that the Lakers are not going to want to fuck this up on their home stage. And so I do want to dial that back. I would love to see him go 30. I've got him in the fantasy team and I need points this week. Mm-hmm. But let's dial it back to like a 20. Like, where's the pick your own line on it? Skiddy, what can we get that's decent?
You can go 25 easily.
Yeah, let's go back down to 25. Let's go back down to the pick your own line. Let's go to like a 24, 25 on Jar and hope for 30 for my fantasy team, Jack. That's what we're going to do on that one. Mate, no worries. Any other, we'll put some more bets together?
Yeah, that's all the bets that we can do. I was going to say, did you want to do the, on your team, who you want to sit and who you're going to start for Shaq 2K? Because he wants to know.
Yeah, this is it. This is in one of my leagues. Decisions. So in one of my leagues, now I've got Darius Garland in IR. So my team lineup is Fred VanVleet, Jason Tatum, DeAnthony Melton, who's out, Nick Claxton, Karl Anthony Towns, Tobias Harris, Dante DiVincenzo, Walker Kessler. It is a one-center team. So I've always got to make a really tough decision, Shaq, about who I roll out as my center on a day when my centers are both playing. Do I roll out Walker Kessler, who I rolled out the other day because he's been getting more blocks in patches than Nick Claxton. Claxton's been getting 1 or 2 here and there, whereas Walker Kessler's been getting 3, 4, 5 blocks in a row. That turned out for me the other day, but I ended up losing a little bit of traction on rebounds a little bit there, which kind of sucked. And without DeAnthony Melton in my team to get my steals, I need to roll that one out. But now I'm well and truly above in blocks, so I'm going to bench Kessler and roll out Claxton today. I've also got to make a move on this one. I've got my shooting guard and my point guard spot. I'm going to activate Fred VanVleet as my guard. I've got this one here. I'm going to put him out there today, and Mikal Bridges as my other shooting guard. I'm going to bench Scoot.
Oh, yeah. I would agree with that as well. Yeah, they come. I think, Scoot to be benched over Mikal.
Yeah, bench. And so my other guard spot, I've got. This is the thing. Do I roll out Scoot or Dante DiVincenzo?
Scoot.
So I roll Scoot out over Dante.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what's going to happen today, especially in a game where they're probably going to get. There we go. So I'm going to switch that around right now. I'm going to act. I was going to. I was going to roll out to get the steals.
My ones. Yeah. I think Scoot can get a couple though.
He can. I'm going to. Yeah, you know what? And you have to look against the Knicks and who they're up against this week, and they're against Philly. So I think I'm going to ride with you on that one. I'm going to put in. I'm going to sit Dante. Field goal percentage is. I've lost that this week anyway. Scoot Henderson. Yeah. Small forward is going to be Tatum. Power forward is going to be Karl Anthony Towns, and I'm going to roll out Tobias Harris against New York. Or do I roll out Cam Johnson is my only call. Cam Johnson or Tobias Harris. That's my one big call here because I've automatically got to bench Kessler. That is a tough one. You know what? I'm going to do what Shaq says today. Shaq, if you're still in feed list, no, I'm going to ask Shaq. Who do you reckon I should do, Shaq? Tobias Harris or Cam Johnson? Now, I've got threes locked up this week. I need rebounds. So this is why.
Then go Tobias. Then
I'm going Tobias, especially on a team where he's going to be matched up. He's been going 8, 7, 4, 7, 7, and 8 lately. He's been on a bit of a rebounding bust, on a boom. So that's why I'm going to go Harris. I'm still around. Shaq, that's my call. I've got to look for what stats I need to fill. I'm just trailing on that one. I'm thinking, we're always thinking Toby. We're always thinking Toby, Shaq 2K. How's this Harris? He's safe as. We love that for him.
So, Shaq, with my ones, I've my fringe guys are Max Strus and Jalen Duren, and I've got Wagner's injured at the moment, but I've got PJ Washington, Gordon, and Avdia on my bench. I am killing him in pretty much everything besides free throw percentage, hence why Gordon and Washington and Abdi are on the bench, and I'm keeping Maxi Strus just in case he does get on there. He's a bit better of a free throw shooter. And then in my other league against Mickey Dell actually this week, I've got Derek White, Hero, and Nurkic as my fringe guys with Jordan Clarkson, John Collins, and Jabari Smith Jr. on the bench. I just feel like Derek White's been amazing as of late, so I'm obviously not having him. And then it comes down to Hero and Nurkic. I feel like I need a bit more of the rebounds, and Nurkic is going to be able to do that better
Nurkic's going to do that.
Better than Jabari. And then, even though Clarkson's been playing amazingly, and the same as Collins, they're coming up against Boston. I normally like to lean players that are playing against a worse defense, and when you're coming up against one of the defense, I would away from a Utah player if I had the chance today.
Shout out to our boy Trace, not our boy. Our personal friend is Trace Jackson Davis. And that guy who plays for the Warriors is the Matrix. Shout out to Matrix, who's joining us for a coffee up in Queensland here in Australia to start the morning. Matty, thank you. If you could advise us on which league that we're playing against you, and we can tell you how to sabotage your team, that would be fantastic. In which league? I'll bring up his lineup. Actually, where is he, the bastard? Good on him. On the back, he's deloading. Here he is. Pod, Hart, KCP, and Barnes. It's a wasteland. Oh, come on. What are you looking for? Pick up KCP. He's been on a nice little streak lately. What are you doing, you savage? Trace Jackson. It was not in this league that I'm looking at right now, to be fair. I like KCP, actually. I think he's been on a bit of a heater lately. In fact, he was third round value in the last couple of weeks, which is ridiculous to think for KCP having such a burner. So you can stream him in. Hart is just there right now for some extra rebounds or anything. But yeah, I reckon you could drop. Oh, this is 9-cat 14. Oh, this is his other league. 14, 9-cat 14, man. Yeah, right. I've been getting KCP. I mean, Trace is yeah, what do you need, Matty? Because Trace today, it's fine, I think, to roll out there. Trace, I think, against the Golden State Warriors against Detroit, I think Trace Jackson Davis is an absolute fine roll out there today. He's got the starters minutes as well locked in for it. Man, I'd actually be rolling out Trace for the day against Detroit.
Yeah, I actually agree. Yeah, I think he just didn't play massive minutes because there was no way he was going to be able to defend Joker, and they needed Looney out there to be a bit more of a bigger body. So I think that was more of a matchup kind of thing. So
and Duran is a bigger body. Duran is a bigger body, though. In fairness, so I would roll
Jokic.
He's not Jokic. No, he's not the best player in the NBA. So
yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like Trace ain't slowing that down. Looney's got a better chance of slowing down than Trace. Like Trace is a rookie. Yeah. Like you're not going, and he's only like 6'9".
He's a speed hump. Like he's a turnstile. Yeah, exactly. He's a little turnstile.
Jokic would have destroyed him. So I think you can hold Trace for today and just hold a little bit longer. I know the minutes split there, but Trace is still getting around about 29, and he's getting almost a double in some games. So I think you can, I think you can still hold Trace for a little bit more. But also too, if you see someone better on the waiver wire, like Bay's not the worst with Hunter out. He can get you he's getting almost 10 rebounds some games, and you can hit a few threes, roughly about 15 points. That's valuable in a sense. So I would be. I mean, Pod's kind of been a bit out of favour at the moment now, but
he has been.
Also, if that's Scotty Barnes, you're taking it. But if it's Harrison Barnes, you're not. Just to be obvious.
If it is Scotty Barnes, you are dropping Trace Jackson Davis immediately, and please be picking up Scotty Barnes, which would also, if that was happening in a league, that would shit Mick Dell off because he would be surprised that he hasn't seen him in Swift because he loves Barnesy. Left, right. So now my last one for the day is who do I add 3-point wise? I also want to keep my field goal percentage. So my big thing that we said there, Shaq, was I was going to make that add to start the day. I don't know. Thank you very much, Shaq, for sticking around, mate. We love sharing our Saturday mornings and that you're always here for us. Like Shaq is always in here. We've had our old mate to start the show off as well, Don Sicario. So Donnie, I don't know if he's still around here somewhere. We love you guys. So thanks very much for always joining us on our Saturday mornings. Now I've got Tim Hardaway Jr., Duncan Robinson. Now, Tim Hardaway is up against Portland. Duncan Robinson is up against Phoenix. Max Strus and Karis LeVert. LeVert has actually now been taken in this league since I've mentioned that. So since this morning, I think only Franz must have been listening. Oh, no, he's still here. No, Karis LeVert is still here, but he's not high up on the 3 points made, and that's what I'm kind of looking for.
Yes.
So Karis LeVert's still around, but I want to keep my field goal percentage somewhat sensible. I've also got against Atlanta, Buddy Hield. I've got Max. So my best shouts for me, I'm looking at Tim Hardaway Jr., Duncan Robinson, Max Strus, Buddy Hield, Malik Monk, possibly.
Yeah.
Or Karis LeVert.
You want threes, but your field goal percentage to stay high, correct?
I want threes, and I would love to buoy my field goal percentage out there a little bit. That's a swing category for us this week. I'm 4 threes down. I had one game yesterday that I streamed in. He had 4 games, and I'm still contending. I'm down now 13. I'm 27 boards down, but I've got a big boards boy day. I've got a big boards boy day in this one.
Okay.
I've got Don Mitchell. I've got Don Mitchell and Mikal. Yeah, I've got Don Mitchell, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Johnson, Larry Markkinen, Walker Kessler, and Miles Turner rolling out there today.
Yep, right. So I think that if you're still wanting to keep your field goal percentage high, then you take LeVert off that list. LeVert takes too many twos, middies, too many shots and everything like that.
Yep.
So I think we can cancel him out. I think the best 3-point shooter there is Buddy Hield, right? Without a question of a doubt. So he's probably the most obvious one. And he'll obviously take his threes as well. Will he hit him? That's a thing to be seen. Strus did go 6 of 6 last time from 3 against Washington 2 days ago. So there's another good shout there for Strus. Tim Hardaway
Duncan
again.
Robinson.
He's Duncan also a great 3-point shot. I think you take out Hardaway if you're too worried about your field goal percentage. That can go south really quickly, pretty much like the same as Karis LeVert. Monk is a very interesting one though. He can go either way, but also too he can get it done from 2. So I think if you want the field goal percentage higher with more threes attempted, you take Hield. I also don't think you can go wrong if you take Strus because he can get other categories as well as the threes. And he's also a reliable 3-point shooter. I think it's out of those 2.
It is. It really is. And I'm looking for points on volume as well if I can get some today as well. So I'm looking for overall points.
Oh, jeez. Then you take Monk.
I'm actually thinking Tim Hardaway Jr.
Okay.
I think against the matchup as well. I just think with the matchup that I've got here as well, if it is against Portland and they do have to roll him out there a bunch of minutes, I think that's probably the better shout for him. I think he's been like.
I definitely agree with him. If you're going for points, then you can go with
points.
Tim Hardaway.
Because I think because I look at my field goal percentage and my opponent today is going to really help stitch that up. They've got Josh Giddey, Kobe White, Klay Thompson, Zion Williamson, Joel Embiid, DeJounte Murray, and RJ Barrett. So it's a pretty much of a swing one, but he's got big guys there who are going to boost it like Zion and Embiid. I've got no one out there to really buoy mine today if I look at my squad. Don Mitchell, Mikal, Jalen Johnson.
Leave it.
Yeah, I might just leave it.
And you go for points.
I go, that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to go for threes and points. And I'm thinking then the best look has got to be Tim Hardaway Jr. or Shaedon Sharpe himself.
All right, you can stick with that. I would take Monk or Strus or something like that, but that's fine, mate. I don't think you can go wrong in any of those.
No, you can. By the way, JP is in here as well. So I think if Lucas sits, but he can easily tank field goal percentage. Yeah, I agree. Look, I might just bring in Tim Hardaway Jr. By the way, JP responded to Shaq. No, you did good by rejecting the trade. Shout out to JP for jumping in there and having a chat about it and appreciate, man. Thank you, man. And we appreciate you guys for tuning in on your Saturday morning. This has been Heat Check. Skiddy, make sure you lodge that bet for us today because last week you hit every single thing on the week. We did not put one in. And we're not going to have that happen for 2 weeks in a row. Much love to you and to Georgie and all the people down there at Bendigo. You fine selves have an absolute cracking. Happy 30th birthday from everyone at the Inside Podcast Network. May all of your days be good, and thank you very much, Shake Skidmore. Enjoy your holiday. I don't want to give you too much. I don't know the girl, so I don't want to say like plaudits, but mate, she's basically your sister, so we just love her. So have a cracking one down there. We'll see you soon, and we'll catch you next week. Oh wait, this guy in here, Bane has been my secret weapon. Thanks for the show, guys, and happy New Year from here in the UK. Oh, JP, man, thanks for listening. It's mate, just after midnight there. Always a pleasure to you, Shaq 2K. Thanks so much, everyone, for jumping in chat. Make sure you hit us up on DM, like and subscribe, all of the things, as we say, at Inside F Sports. We are on Twitter. We are on YouTube. You need to like, subscribe, get your notifications. We are on everywhere you get your podcasts, whether it's Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever the hell you get them. Make sure you check it out. We're there. We'll see you soon, guys. See ya.